So in 2.2, we converted terminating decimals to fractions. Now we're going the other way. We're going fractions to terminating decimals. All right, so this is 14 and 9/10, which is 14.9. 9 and 3/100 is 9.03. 43/100 is 0.43. If you want to put the leading zero in there, you can. 8 and 9/1000, 8.009, right? You have to in the thousands place. 3 and 59,000, 3.059. We have the same end in the same spot as the 9,000s. And this is 12 and 10,000s, 0.0037. So what about, how do you make fractions that are not tenths, hundreds, or thousands into decimals? All right, so we're going to convert this, and we're going to put this over 10, 100, or 1,000 if you can, right? You want to put it in the lowest one you can. So we're going to always try tenths first. Can we put this over 10 and fill in the blank? Yeah, we know how to fill in the blank there. It's an equivalent fraction. 2 times 5 is 10, and so it makes 5/10. And we know what 5/10 is as a decimal, 0.5. So to make a fraction a decimal, you first convert it to a decimal over 10, 100, or 1,000. 9 and 3/5, so it's 9, and we can do 10 again. 5 times 2 is 10, so 3 times 2 is 6, so that's 9 and 6/10, also known as 9.6. 1/25, well, we can't put that over 10, right? So we can put it over 100, right? Because 25 times 4 is 100, and 1 times 4, whoops, is 4, so that's 400. So as a decimal, 1/25 is 0.04. All right, Ralph mixed pink paint according to the following ratio. We did a little bit of this in the last unit. What portion of the total paint shall be red paint? Express your answer as a fraction and a decimal. All right, so it's paint will be red. It's 2 out of the total. The total here is 5. So 2/5, right, is the fraction. But then we're going to make it 4/10, and we're going to make it a decimal, 0.4. 2/5 is 0.4. Convert the fraction to dollars and cents. What is $7.50? Well, it's the same rule. Dollars are in hundreds, right? There are 100 cents in a dollar. So anytime we're converting to dollars, we're converting to hundreds. So 2 times 50 is 100. So it's 7/50, but we would write that as a decimal as $7. Now we put that there, 0.50. And this is the only time, other than lining up your decimal points, maybe for adding and subtracting, that you need to have that extra zero. Otherwise, I would write 7.5. But $7.50, right? If I write this, that's $7.50 too. It's not 5 cents. 5 cents looks like that, right? 7.5 is the same thing as $7.50. 5 1/4. Okay, what's a fourth of a dollar? Well, we got to put it over 100 because dollars are in hundreds. 4 times 25 times 25. It's $5.25, which we would write as $5.25, like that. 3 1/20 not as obvious, hopefully. Hopefully the first two you have done before, but if you haven't, here we go. So now we still got to put this over 100. So 20 times 5. So this is 3 5/100. So 3 1/20, that's the one that's $3.05, right? Very different than 50 cents. 50 cents is a half a dollar. 1/20 is the one that is 5 cents. 0.05 is 1/20. All right, so now for terminating decimals, 8 is the tricky one because 8 can't be put over 10. 8 times nothing makes 10. 8 times nothing makes 100. So you have to do 1,000. And this came up the other day, I think, in the final question. 8 times what makes 1,000? Well, you could do the work, but I'm going to tell you to try to memorize, in fact, definitely memorize the fact that 8 times 125 is 1,000. Yeah. because 125 times 8, 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20, 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is, that's the 1. So anytime you have 8s, you want to multiply by 125, top and bottom. Yeah, and 3/8 makes 375 thousandths, 0.375. All right, so what's 2 and 5/8? Well, we know we're going to not put it over 10 or 100. We got to put it over 1,000, and we're going to multiply by 125. 8 times 125, 1,000. What is 5 times 125? 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. And that is 625. So this is 2 and 625 thousandths as a decimal, 2.625. Now, we're going to convert 9/4 to a decimal. I highly recommend, right, you convert this to a mixed number first, right? 8/4 is 2, so this is 2 and 1/4. Once you do that, then it's pretty much like all the others, right? We're going to get it over 10, 100, or 1,000. 10 doesn't work, but 100 does. 4 times 25 is 100. 1 times 25. So it's 2 and 25 hundredths, 2.25. Right? Many students, I think, some of you have been doing this, 9 divided by 4, and doing all, that's the slow way. Yeah, you can do it that way. We'll talk about this method in another unit, but it's just easier to make it 2 and 1/4 and then put over 10, 100, or 1,000. Okay, so once again, right, 25 25ths is 1, so this is 1 and 2 25ths. And once you do that, you know you have to get it over 10, 100, or 1,000. 25 times 4 is 100, so this is 1 and 8 hundredths, also known as 1.08. Which improper fraction is equal to 1.5? Well, this is 1 and 1/8. This is 1 and 1/5. This is 1 and 1/2. Which one's 1.5? I want you to memorize that 1/2 is 5/10, which is 1.5. This one over here is 1. This makes thousandths. Yeah. This is 1 and 125 thousandths. 1.125. 1/8. Oops. I have an extra 1 in there. 1/8 is 125 over 1,000, because 8 times 125 is 1,000. 1 and 1/5, right, is 1 and 2/10, 1.2. Oh, I don't want to circle that because the correct answer here is this one. All right, so these are in fourths, so what's the blue there? Well, the blue there is 3/4, and it says make it a decimal. So 3/4, I'm going to make it over 100. And it's 75 hundredths. So that is 3/4, and it also is 0.75. What's that way down there? Well, these are fifths, it says so. And so this is 3 and 2/5. Well, 3 and 2/5 is the same as 3 and what? 4/10. So it's also 3.4. All right, now when 8 was the denominator, it was multiplied by 125. When 16 is the denominator, you multiply by 625. Now this doesn't come up near 8. 1/8 will come up all the time in your real life and in class. 16th, I just thought I wanted to show you one that went out past 1,000. So this is going to be 625 over, what is 625 times 16? Well, 6 times 5 is 30, 6 times 2 is 12, plus 3 is 15, then 6 times 6 is 36, plus 1 is 37. I notice I like to put an arrow here rather than a 0, and then we're going to go 1 times 5, 1 times 2, and 1 times 6. You get 0, 0, carry 0. Oh my goodness, you get 625 10,000ths. Yeah, that's what 1/16 is, which is a decimal, is 0.0625. Yeah. All right, so if 1/16 is that, what is 3/16? All right, well, you know you're going, when you have a 16th, right, you're going to not 1,000, you're going to 10,000. Now, remember, if you go to 4/16, that's 1/4, you're going to hundredths. But you can't simplify 1/16 and 3/16. So we're going to, we're multiplying by 625. So 625 times 3 is 15, and we get 1875, so it's 1,875 10,000ths, which is 0.1875. No zero, because we need it to still end in the 10,000ths place. So let's practice. 7 and 9/20ths. All right, 20 can be put over 100. 20 times 5 is 100. 9 times 5 is 45. This is 7.45. Now notice how I say that, 7.45. Because if you, once I say 45, I got to say the denominator. You have to say 7. There's 2 ways, and you're not allowed to combine them. So it's 7.45, the spelling method, or 7 and 45/100ths. All right, so once again, 10/5 is 2. So 13/5 is 2 and 3/5, which is 2 and 6/10, which is 2.6. 7/8, there's 8ths. That makes not 10, 100, but makes 1,000. What do you multiply by? 125. 8 times 125, 1,000. So what's 125 times 7? 5 times 7 is 35. 7 times 2, 14, plus 3 is 17. And then it's 875 thousandths, which is 0.875. This is 9, and we got to put it over 100. This is 9 and 75/100ths, or $9.75 as a decimal. Oh, in dollars and cents it says. All right, so these are fourths. So this must be 2 and 1/4. And 2 and 1/4 is how many hundredths? It's 2 and 25/100ths. So this is also 2.25. All right, so finally we have Casey, and she's mixing ping pong again. And we want to know what fraction is red again. So it's 4 out of a total of 5, which is 8/10, which is 0.8. Right? So it says shade it, and you want to shade it up to the line, up to this line that curves around at 8/10. That's how you work this. 8/10 of this gallon is going to be red. What percentage, what fraction will be, if 8/10 is red, what will be white? Well, it's got to add up to 10/10, so it's 2/10 is white. All right, good luck with the homework.